Greetings, I am Sir Blake Murphy, a 5-year professional MBA candidate from Orlando, Florida. In my marketing plan presentation, we'll be covering IsoLab. The first presentation, we're going to go over the introduction and what the company is, as well as what is IsoLab and how it can be a benefit to people. Also, the SWOT analysis in the competitive market and the target market and objective and how you plan to reach them. The promotion strategy for how we're going to get our business out there and reach more people, as well as the pricing and the cost for our business. So to start off, I want to pose a question. And based on the players you see on your screen, I want to ask you, what do these players have in common? You see players across the college level, some of the best in high school, and even the best in the NBA. And what do they have in common? Is it their motivation, their love for the game, or their resilience to be able to overcome adversity throughout their time? I think all these things may also be true, but one thing I want to focus on, and the purpose of IsoLab, is what about the equipment that they have access to? What kind of training are they doing to become the best assets that they can be? So this is where IsoLab comes in to be a place for all hoopers. So we want to be able to provide them with the best strength and conditioning equipment, NBA regulation courts, trainers, and also recovery equipment and nutrition as well, to give them the best experience, to take care of their body, perform at the highest levels, and trying to get better every day. So for our target market and our objective, our market is really to everybody. Like I said, our IsoLab is for all hoopers. So youth age 6 through 12 who are just now starting to play the game of basketball and want to be able to get themselves from the fundamentals. The high school level is where I played at, where I get a chance to, kind of refine those skills further on and honestly put on strength and weight before going to college. At the collegiate level, you're starting to get into your athletic prime and you're playing in the system, and it's very high intensity. So the physicality at that level requires you to be even more in shape, even more physical, to be able to play and compete for a chance to compete in the NBA or other pro leagues. And then the casuals and former pros, so those who maybe went through all these steps but didn't pound to become a pro, but still want to continue to play and get themselves better just from the love of the game. Or former pros who got to that level, maybe they retired and they want to come back and still just stay in shape and have fun and compete. So for my why, a lot of this comes from my personal journey of playing basketball. So as you can see on the left-hand side, I've continued to play basketball throughout high school, college, and the minor leagues, casually and compete competitively. My journey really started out years ago when I had spinal fusion surgery, where you can see I had about a 54-degree curve in my spine, which sidelined me for a season and really set my progress back for developing and playing basketball. I was still able to come on my junior year and play varsity and finish it out my senior year as well. Super excited about that and wanted to come back and kind of prove myself that I still had a chance to play at a high level and compete and be an asset to my team. And unfortunately, I never got to that level in high school, but I still continued to play basketball, still had a love for the game, and didn't want to stop there because I'd seen so many other hoopers have their journey or go through a similar journey as mine, where they didn't play much in high school or didn't even play in college, but they've still now gone to do great things from basketball. So I kind of want to follow that same path. I'm continuing to get stronger, continue to get faster, more athletic, and we hope one day I'll still be able to, have my corporate job, and I don't plan on going to the league, but still want to be able to compete at a high level, maybe even play in rec leagues or pro-am leagues going forward. So that's a lot about my why and why I want to start this business. And so just some of the questions that I had that also generated the idea was, where will I find community of other basketball players that are also playing at a high level or want to compete? Where can I find that outside of college? And then also, how can I continue to improve personally? So is there going to be a space for me to go to where I can continue to not only get my on-court skills sharper day by day, but also continue to get more physical and more athletic? And so that's why the idea of IsoLab came up. So now for the location and the data behind that location, it's going to be Dallas, Texas. I actually plan on moving there after I graduate in the spring of next year to work full time. And I was born there as well. I was born a few minutes away in Irving, and so I have family that are there in Dallas that I frequently visit annually for Thanksgiving or other holidays as well. And so I know the area, I know what space is available there and kind of the market behind that. And so here are some numbers to support that. So we start with the global sports market value for training, which is at about 8.5 billion and projected to increase to 14.5 billion in the next 6 years. And within the Dallas population specifically, population of about 8 million people, and of the youth between age 6 and 17 within the population, 40% play basketball. It's also the #1 sports business city as of 2023, and it's really just a great market overall for having different sports venues and different training facilities around basketball. You have the Dallas Mavericks there. The Houston isn't too far from Dallas either, and so ultimately basketball is really a sport that is highly looked at in the Dallas area, and so that's why you want to start our first business location there. So for our SWOT analysis, just a few things to kind of go over as far as some strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats that were identified. So for our strengths, as mentioned before, a strong basketball culture in the Dallas area. I'm just going to get on the programs and the colleges that are around basketball. I think it'd be a really great opportunity to put IsoLab in that area. Again, the growing youth athletics markets, 40% of the youth is currently playing basketball, and that number is expected to continue to increase as the years go by, and basketball becomes even a more popular sport, and it's advertised across the city and the country. And cross training. So IsoLab has equipment for basketball, of course. That's what our main focus is. But every sport could use a bench or a leg press or a calf raise or any different type of machine or exercise that you could think of. It's very functional. So you want to be able to have the opportunity to train different types of athletes if they so choose to come here or play different sports as well. Some of the weaknesses, though, it's a high startup cost. So it's going to be a very large business, very large facility. They're going to think about 6 basketball courts, and that's going to cost a lot of money up front. We do have a plan for getting that capital, which we'll discuss later. But that's definitely going to be one of the things we're going to prioritize is how we're going to overcome those high startup costs. And then also the competition, which we'll go into later on, but there's already a market for trainers in the Dallas area that provide one-on-one training and have leagues as well within their businesses and kind of provide a little bit of that same business model that we want to for our business. But our plan is to come in and do it better, to do it bigger, to be more effective with it, to advertise more, to get our name out there. So that's how we're going to overcome that weakness as well. And then for staffing and coaching talent, it's going to be kind of hard or difficult to recruit the best of the best for coaches to come in or trainers to come in and help our players get better, to have our best trainers come in and be able to help recovery, help with pregame and post-game work, to give that one-on-one skill and training advice. So that's going to be definitely more difficult to find, just not only from a money perspective, but also from a recruitment perspective. So that's something we can get to overcome. And then for our opportunities, our corporate and collegiate partnerships. So because of all the presence of basketball in the Dallas area, we want to make sure that we're able to, get our name out there and partner with these colleges and these corporations that IsoLab could be very useful for. And then also the high school and AAU integration as well. So again, kind of that youth to the high school range, people who are starting basketball and wanting to develop the fundamentals, and also those who are getting ready to prepare for college. I think we can definitely get out there and be a part of that market. And then diversified revenue and community impact. So on the revenue side, because our business has the in-house trainers, the recovery and nutrition, the strength training, the four-court basketball optionality, the one-on-one training, and of course we'll have different gear as well within our lab. There are different ways for our business to make money that don't just revolve around having a membership and just playing basketball. So we want to offer a lot more than that. So it opens up a lot of doors for having more streams of income. And then for our community impact as well. So getting IsoLab out there to maybe do charity events or do trash cleanup or just kind of be involved in more ways that aren't just basketball, or maybe that support basketball initiatives, but those initiatives support the community. So just again, find ways to kind of get our name out there and have us do more outside of just what our business offers in-house. And then for our threats, so different zoning laws in the Dallas area. So understanding what the the building requirements are. I see plenty of warehouses and different large structures and buildings already in the Dallas area, so I know it's not impossible and hasn't been done before. But again, you have to just make sure you have the correct regulations and we're up to code with how we want to build to make sure that we're not running into anything that could slow us down or potentially halt our progress. And then market saturation, which kind of goes into competition. So there's a market for these kind of facilities already. There's kind of training already in the Dallas area. So you have to be able to overcome that and be able to stand out and differentiate ourselves from the rest of the pack to be efficient and be able to be productive in that space. And then economic downturn. So people may not want to continue to pay for a monthly subscription to come to IsoLab and play basketball if their funds are short and ends need to be met. They have to cut some things. I feel like the gym membership could be the first thing to go. So one thing to consider. So we have to make sure we can continue to project for a positive economy, but in times where things could be tight, we may see a negative impact on our end from that. So for the competitive market, as mentioned previously, there are a lot of other brands in the area that continue to do or are already doing what we plan to do at IsoLab at a smaller scale though. So we have Shoot 360, Tyler Rowe basketball, Elite basketball, B Elite basketball, just a few examples. And these companies right now are operating in that training space, operating in the space of getting their players better on the court and off the court with their strength training as well. And so this is who we're up against. This is who we got to compete with. But we believe that IsoLab has enough of a competitive advantage with the amount of facilities they're going to be able to offer, the price point they're going to be able to offer as well to be able to compete with these businesses. So for promotion strategies, want to go over a few ways that we're going to offer, our business to be promoted and get more customers to be encouraged to come and try it out. So we have our trial facility for a week free. Also, if you can prefer a friend, you can get a free 60-minute training session, which is your one-on-one either skill work on the court or your strength training session to help you get faster and more athletic and more solid. Group plans get a 25% discount for 3 or more people, so you can add people on to your plan, and the more people you add, you can have those people be additionally discounted. And then if you're a member of a local basketball roster, like a rec league that we're associated with or anything like that, you get a 15% discount as well. Any local sports team, so a group plan of 10 or more can get a 30% discount. So if you're a high school team or even a college team, maybe in the off season or anything like that, that want to have a duplex to practice, you can come here and get a significant discount for your players. You tag the IsoLab on social media, you get a chance to be entered to win prizes as well for promoting our business. And then within our league, there are weekly skills challenges for leaderboard prizes. So again, continue to compete at the high level and play well, and you'll be able to earn different prizes and be on the leaderboard as being known for the best of the best. And then lastly, our partnerships with local teams. So we want to be able to partner with local, again, high school, colleges, and even highest horizon, maybe even the NBA team, the Dallas Mavericks that are nearby, to get our business out there and get more customers attracted to when they come to IsoLab. So to go over our pricing, I think this is what really sets us apart from the competition to give us a competitive advantage in the market. So we have 3 different tiers for individuals and then 2 different tiers for groups and teams. So starting our starter, $50 a month, you get unlimited access to our 6 full-size NBA courts, our strength training and conditioning facilities, as well as 4 30-minute training sessions per month. So this is your one-on-one sessions you can get with a trainer to work on your on-court skill work, like your ball handling and passing, your finishing, your shooting, or your off-court, like your strength and conditioning, to get more physical and more athletic and to not get bumped around the court. And then you have 4 recovery lab sessions per week. So the recovery lab is a place where you can come in and get stretching, have different movement work to keep your body nimble and athletic, do an ice bath, do a sauna, many different recovery equipments that we have in there. So that's what that place is for. And then next you have the all-star tier of $80 per month, which includes all these starter perks. But now you get 8 60-minute stretch sessions per month, one per day recovery lab access. So you can go daily to get that that training and recovery, and then access to our ISO league, which is essentially our rec league of basketball where you can compete for a championship, and that's what I feel like a lot of people want to do past high school or college or even if they're foreign pros, just be able to compete for something and have it be with purpose. Next, you have our Legend tier, which is $120 per month, and this includes all the all-star perks previously mentioned, but now you get 15 60-minute training sessions per month, 2 times a day in the recovery lab, and access to our premium nutrition lounge, which is a place to be able to go get food before or after your workout or any time of day, to be able to figure out the right food. So we're trying not to serve anything that's full of too many greasy fats or too saturated or don't actually perform. So it's going to be clean foods in there: chicken, salmon, steaks, potatoes. Only the best food actually built for athletes to be able to perform at the best level. And then also they're bringing a guest free. So the guests won't have access to all the legend perks, but they'll be able to come in and at least get all the starter perks of being able to have access to the courts and the equipment as well. And then next we have our group plan, which is for 3 or more. So if you 2 of the friends you want to come with that that you can at least run threes with it or are gonna come consistently, for $270 a month or basically $90 per person, you get access to all the legend perks. And if you want to add more people to your plan, it's an additional $35 a month per person after that. So you can really get a good discount on getting access to all the legend features if you have this group plan. And then for the team plan, which is 10 people or more, so high school team that wants to come or local team that wants to come and get access to this equipment, it's $700 a month for the first 10 people, and then $25 a month per person after that. And of course, same thing, access to all the legend perks that are offered within the facility. So our startup costs, as mentioned previously, are going to be pretty high to start off with. So between $2.5 and $4 million. And that includes all of our equipment we're going to need, any staffing that we're going to be able to hire, and everything that's just involved with getting this business started up, for our construction and everything like that. So our monthly operating expenses, like our salaries and keeping everything, keeping the lights on, essentially about 143 to 191K on average. And so our monthly break even, given our startup costs and our operating expenses, is about 180 to 200K of revenue per month. And so it's gonna take us about 12 to 18 months to become profitable and get our full return on investment will be about 2.5 to 3.75 years. And this is with strong membership conversion. So being able to get members to come back consistently and be a part of our business going forward, that's gonna be a part of that number. Thank you for listening. This concludes our presentation. If you have any questions, please email us at isolab@hotmail.com.